Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with Part 12, Lesson 11, The Illuminated Faith, Mystical Interpretation of the Gospel of St. John by R. Swinburne Clymer. Lesson 11, Only he who loves the truth will search for the truth. St. John chapter 3, verses 19 through 29. 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. During all ages there have been those, called messiahs and masters, who came to teach the truth and the way. These teachers, through obedience to the divine law, had attained illumination of soul. They were the light of the world and were ready to teach the truth and to hold out the light to all those that would listen and accept. But man's nature has been more animal than divine. He loves the pleasures of the flesh. Consequently, he does those things which will bring him the gratification of the carnal senses. Carnal senses and pleasures, being destructive, are of darkness and consequently evil. Men are not willing to give up the pleasure of the senses. They care more for the darkness than for light. Therefore, they are slow in accepting the teachings of those who understand the true doctrine. It is this that they are condemned, having had an opportunity to learn the truth, whereby one becomes free from the entanglements of the carnal nature, and the way, whereby carnal desires may be transmuted into divine passions, and the life, whereby one may become a child of the light. Men refuse and follow the way of the flesh, which is the way of darkness and of error and of dissatisfaction. 20. For every one that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Those who are living the life of the senses do not care for the truth, for they have no use for it. Their mind is still unawakened. They are in the first birth. If the time comes when they are no longer satisfied with the pleasures that the senses give, when they no longer are satisfied with a successful, though unjust, business of life, then they turn to the light, and if the forces which are required in order to bring about illumination are not all used up, they will find the light. But if they have continued their evil ways too long, if the serpent has finished its work, then illumination is not possible. 21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. When the mind awakens to the fact that it is not all of life to live in the flesh, when the mind is ready to admit that there are things far more desirable than those which the flesh can give to man, then is the individual beginning to love the light. Then will he seek the way that will lead him to enlightenment. He will then live the life that is in harmony with the divine law, and his deeds will become manifest. For there is nothing hid which shall not become known. Man is the temple of the living God. The more he seeks for the light, the more will his thoughts and his desires incline towards heavenly interests and purposes. Eventually, these thoughts and desires will transmute his whole body, and God will be dwelling in the temple, and the sacred fire, which is the light, will be on the altar within the Holy of Holies. 22. After these things came Jesus and his disciples into the land of Judea, and there he tarried with them and baptized. 23. And John also was baptized in Enam near Salim, because there was much water there, and they came and were baptized. 24. For John was not yet cast into prison. 25. Then there arose a question between some of John's disciples and the Jews about purifying. 26. And they come unto John, and said unto him, Rabbi, he that was with thee beyond Jordan, to whom thou bearest witness, behold, the same baptizeth, and all men come to him. 27. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing, except it be given him from heaven. When things are considered ultimately, it is recognized that all man ever receives, he receives from within himself, except it be given him from heaven, refers to the internal kingdom of man's own divine nature. To seek first the kingdom of heaven refers likewise to the kingdom of infinite resources and manifold possibilities in man's inner being. When considered in the light of ultimate analysis, all things in man's life, whether good or evil, come from within himself. This is what is meant by the saying, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. If our thoughts, and they are within us, are of the good, the true, the holy, the beautiful, then will things that are good, true, holy, and beautiful come to us. If our thoughts are evil, destructive, and of darkness, then will the things that come to us savor of disease, misery, and death. All that we are comes from within our natures. For our thoughts and our desires are within us, and through them we create our center of consciousness, and through this center of consciousness, in large measure, we create our conditions and our environment. Ours is the choice, ours to say what we will to be. In large degree, we are masters of our own destiny. It is for us to choose the truth, the way, and the life that will ensure for us not only a heavenly destiny, but a life of service to humanity. 28. Ye yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but I am sent before him. The awakening of the mind must always come before the awakening of the soul can take place, because it is only through the efforts of the awakened mind that soul consciousness can be made possible. In like manner, must the teachers of mental forces come and prepare the way and the minds of the people, so that they will be prepared to accept the higher doctrine of the soul when it is presented to them. But well it is for the one who baptizes with water if he admits that it is not the ultimate baptism, that it is not the all. 29. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greater because of the bridegroom's voice. This my joy therefore is fulfilled. He that has lived according to the divine law, he that has deliberately made effort to transmute the base and the earthly within his own nature into qualities of soul, he that, through right use of the awakened mind, has at last reached soul consciousness, such an one is like the bridegroom. He has won a bride, and his bride is the Christ. Though his friend has not won a bride, he rejoiceth in the good fortune of his friend, for he knoweth that he also can do as his friend has done. He recognizes the voice of him who has won his desire, and in that voice is his joy made complete, for it assures him that he has the same opportunity that his friend has. In this one statement, John shows how truly great his character was. Though himself a leader of men, he recognized and acknowledged Jesus to be the greater. He tells his followers that Jesus, like the bridegroom, has won a higher estate than himself and is therefore superior to him. And in this knowledge, John openly rejoices. In this did he fulfill the law, love thy neighbor as thyself. For all men are our neighbors, and when we love them, jealousy and envy cannot creep in. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.